And why we talk about stop overeating, it's because the reason why you are overweight, it's because you overeat. Okay, so this is the most important thing, and here is where we have to put all the energy if we want to lose weight permanently. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to explain you why. Here are some reasons why why overeating is a problem in your life. It's because you are all the time thinking about food and about your weight. It's because you are exhausted of trying different things that only work temporarily. It's because you are feeling, you feel like you are eating against your own will. It's because you have tried willpower and it doesn't work. Okay, and it's because also you think that if you could solve this, everything else will be better. Okay, so if this does resonate with you, this masterclass is for you. Okay, so let's start. I suggest you, if you have some questions, let's talk about those questions at the end, because normally as long as I am speaking, I am going, and we have some questions, and then I am going to answer them right away in the presentation. So you can write down these questions, and at the end we can come back to those questions. Okay, so what are you going to learn today? You're going to learn the top 3 factors contributing to your weight gain and how to solve them. You're going to discover the 3 secrets for lasting weight loss and how to apply them with ease, and an essential tool to lose weight and create the life that you want. Okay, I know that the time is important for you, for me as well. The first commitment is with you, so let's use your time wisely. Please turn off your mobile, close all open tab except this one, and just tell your family that you're going to be occupied for the next 30-45 minutes. Okay, so here I am. My name is Laura. I am a family physician. I have been working during 15 years in a clinical practice. And during all those years, I have got a lot of patients who were struggling with their weight loss. So they were in this endless cycle of dieting. And the thing is that if there's something in the weight loss industry, is that there's a missing piece, very important, and is the missing piece which make the weight loss last. Okay, so every diet, I would say that any diet will probably help you to lose weight, but the key here, and what we really want to, is to maintain all this weight that we have lost there. Okay, so this is one of the things that I have been doing. So I have been doing some research, and I discovered that this was the missing piece, and I discovered the answer was with the coaching. Okay, so it's much more than only counting calories in, calories out. Weight loss, lasting weight loss goes beyond this, and this is because our mind and our bodies are much more complex than that. Okay, so there are a lot of factors that are influencing in our weight. Okay, so this is what we are going to see today. Okay, so we are overweight because we are overeating, and we are overeating because we are over hunger. And this is a hormonal disbalance which comes from our dieting habits, but also it could be because we have a certain medical condition which creates us to have more over hunger. This can also be because we have an over desire, and when we have this over desire, it's because we have our brain which is giving more importance to the food, and this is also coming from the way we are eating. And then it's because we are emotional eaters, which means that we utilize food to neutralize our emotions. Okay, so let's talk about each of them. Over hunger, as I told you, it's a hormonal disbalance. And for knowing if we are over hunger, we have to discover how it feels to have physical hunger, which is not the same as emotional hunger. So physical hunger, you're going always to find the response in your body. You have to tap into your body to see if it's hunger, real hunger or not. So you can find this, the answer in your stomach. So you can feel this sensation that your stomach is eating itself, or you can have some bowel movements or noises of your bowels, or you can feel demotivated, you are not very concentrated, or you are even irritable. Okay, this can be the signs that you have physical hunger. Okay, so here is what happens. Every time we eat, we have a release of insulin, which is going to make a storage. It's going to store the energy that we are not using into a fat storage, which is normally in the liver or in the muscles. Okay, and we are doing this because if we need energy and we don't have access to the food, which was something that came regularly in our life, our ancestors' lives, okay, we still have some energy to survive. Okay, so what is happening is that this insulin is going to store this energy that we are not using as fat into the liver or muscles, and at the same time, if we are storing, we are not accessing this fat that we have stored to burn it. Okay, so we are getting weight basically. Okay, and then there are two factors that are influencing very much in this insulin. And it's that when we are eating sugar and flour and processed food, because processed food, finally, it's sugar concentrated regularly every day, we provoke to have this intensity of hunger much more higher. Okay, we are hungry all of the time and we are feeling dizziness if we are not eating. Okay, I don't know if you can recognize yourself there. The thing is that if we are hungry all of the time, we are eating all of the time. And this is the second factor. Snacking, it's going to, as I told you before, every time we eat, insulin goes up. And when insulin is high in the bloodstream, we are going to store more fat. Okay, so we are storing fat continuously when we are snacking. Okay, which means that we can also access to the fat storage when we are not eating, which is normally when we are sleeping. Okay, here you can see every time we eat, this blue clear, it's insulin goes up. Okay, and when we are not eating, you can see that insulin in the bloodstream is lower, and we can only access when we have been sleeping, not eating for a certain period of time. Okay, the thing is that lately, in the recent years, we have become sugar burners, which means that we have been using food. We have been eating more regularly and more sugar. Okay, and this is easy to our body because it's an energy that it's easy to metabolize, and we are doing this faster. But the thing is that our bodies are not designed for eating sugar and are not designed for eating regularly. Okay, so the solution to the overhunger is become fat adapted. Okay, so we have to become adapted to use our fat as a way of obtaining our energy. Okay, and how are we going to do this? Stimulating the insulin as little as possible, which means reducing consumption of sugar, processed food, and flour, avoiding snacking, and eventually intermittent fasting, which is going to make longer this period where we are not eating, and therefore our insulin is going to be very low in the bloodstream, and then we have the access to the fat stores. Okay, second one is over desire. We can try to reduce over desire or resist over desire, but if we are not addressing the real cause, we are not doing anything. So let's talk about this. Over desire. Desire always come from pleasure. But where does pleasure come from? Okay, it can be cultural conditioning. So we have these schedules, these meal times, and we can notice that at a certain moment we start to feel this desire for eating because it's lunchtime or because it's dinner time. Okay, so we have been conditioned to this. Also, the beliefs around what is normal eating and how much enjoyment we should have from what we are eating. For example, in the weddings or when we are celebrating something, okay, it's normal to have over desire and eating more than we really need. And also from the pleasure of eating itself, because every time we eat, even if it's normal, real food, our brain is going to release a little amount of dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that it's going to make us feel good, that it's going to make us feel secure, that it's going to make us feel pleasure. Okay, and this is for a reason. This is for a survival reason. So it's only to not forget to eat in order to survive. Okay, so this is how our bodies were designed for. The thing is that now when we are eating sugar, because sugar is everywhere, processed food and flour regularly, again, we are, every time we eat those, the release of this dopamine, it's 3 times higher, which means that our brain suddenly experience an over desire. So it's not the little desire that he can experience with real food. When we are eating this, wow, he just freaks out and say, wow, what's this? And suddenly our brain just wants to recreate this over pleasure. Okay, so when we experience over pleasure, our body creates this unwarranted urgency for food, which is the over desire. Okay, so then we can feel this desire for food, but we can also decide if we are going to eat or not. Okay, so we can, in our decision making, there are 2 parts of our brain which are involved, which is the first one, it's our, what I call default brain, because it's the one which we are using the most. It's the automatic brain, it's the primal brain. Okay, this is our ancestors' brain, and it's very basic. It just works with this motivational triad, which is seeking pleasure, avoiding danger, and efficiency. Okay, this is the way it works, very basic. And then we have our prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain which is much more evolved. It's the part of the brain who planifies, who execute the plans, who rationalize. Okay, so we can just compare both. Primal brain would be the behavior of the toddler. I want it all and I want it now. Okay, and prefrontal cortex would be much more like an adult. Okay, so the solution, I'm going to explain you why I am talking about this decision making. Okay, because it's a part of the solution. First of all, reduce sugar, flour, and processed food again. Okay, second, plan your meals ahead of time, because this is the way that we have to involve our prefrontal cortex in our daily life. And when we are doing this, when we are deciding ahead of time, 1 day before, what we are going to eat the next day, we are going to make better choices. So when you are doing this from a place of, how can I make my future self of tomorrow feel great in her body, and at the same time, give her the best food that doesn't interfere in her weight loss or his weight loss. Okay, when we are asking this and we are answering this question, sorry, from this place, we are probably making better choices than no planning at all. And the next day we arrive at home, we are very tired, kids are screaming, and I just need a treat, and let's go and talk. Let's go to the pizza to eat something easy to eat, and that makes me pleasure. Okay, so when we are choosing to plan our meals ahead of time, it's for sure that we are going to make better choices. So here the work is to involve this prefrontal cortex a little bit more, and then be aware of our thoughts, because what are you telling yourself? I need a treat. I deserve this. Only one won't make me fat or gain weight, you know? So all those thoughts that you are telling yourself are creating a certain feeling. It could be desire for food, or it could be just feeling powerless, and maybe you are coping this powerless with food, you know? So all the feelings that we have are going to drive us to take some actions or inactions, and these actions are going to have a result. I'm going to talk about this in some minutes, okay? And then find the pleasure in other areas of your life. Why is this important? Because, as I told you, if you are used to eat sugar, flour, and processed food, and you want to lose weight, and suddenly you cut off this, and you are not eating sugar, flour, and processed food at all, without addressing this issue of pleasure, you are going to experience much more desire for those foods. Okay, so you have to find another pleasure to compensate this pleasure that you are experiencing, that it's coming from food, but won't come from food anymore, because you want to lose weight. Okay. And the third one, emotional eating. Emotional eating, as I told you, using food to neutralize our emotions. They can be emotions, positive emotions and negative emotions. So we can feel sad, stressed, anxious, worried, or bored, overwhelmed. Okay. And we can also eat more because we just want to have fun. We are in a travel vacation, relax, and so on, weddings, okay, celebrations with the family and friends. And yes, we are using food to neutralize because it is helping us, because it's going to intensify the positive emotions, but it also going to reduce our negative emotions when we eat. Food is also providing us the pleasure immediately by this release of dopamine, and we have been culturally conditioned. So I remember when I was a kid and I was to the doctor to get vaccinated, my mom or even the doctor were rewarding me with some sweets. Okay, so unconsciously we have been culturally conditioned since ever. Okay, so it has become something normal again to eat when we are not feeling good. Okay, or using food as a reward of something that doesn't go well. Okay, so the solution comes from feeling your feelings. So be open to feel this 50-50 of the world, of the life, which is 50% positive emotion, 50% negative emotions. Be open to feel those emotions that we don't want to, okay? And feel the urges. So rather than obeying this urge to eat or this craving, I need to eat this and go and eat, just be there without responding and see what are you experiencing in your body. And what you are going to discover is that it's very discomfortable to feel this, but it's totally inoffensive. And with the time, it dissipates and it's no longer there. So really try to experience this, and then learn how to manage your mind. Okay. And here is the tool that I am going to introduce you, that I told you before, which is called the model. And this is a tool that I have been learning in the school where I have been certified at the Life Coach School. And the model has 5 components which are interrelated between them. And these are the components. So first of all, we have the circumstance. These are the facts, the things that are happening in the world, okay? Or things that are related to others, what others think, what others does, or what others say, for example. The thoughts, it's our perception, the story that we tell ourselves from this circumstance or facts, okay? Thoughts are always optional and circumstances are always neutral, okay? We're going to talk more about this later on. So our thoughts, when we think about something, we are going to generate in our body a certain feeling. So this thought, these things that we are telling ourselves are going to generate a vibration in our body, which is the emotion. And when we feel this emotion, we are going to take some actions or some inactions, okay? And those actions are going to have a result in our life, which will be evident for everyone. And at the same time, it's going to prove this thought that we were thinking, okay? So let's put an example to make it easier. So let's say that you are, this is the case of one client that I had. She was dieting. She was doing all perfect, okay? And one day she just wanted to check her weight, okay? And she found out that the number on the scale went up, okay? So at that time, her thought was, I will never lose weight. And when she was telling this to herself, that made her feel powerless. And what is happening when you are feeling powerless? If you are coping with food, your negative emotions with food, it's going to bring you closer to eat and overeat. So this was her case. She was overeating, she was ruminating a lot, she was second guessing the diet, she was not exercising and not doing anything to take care of herself. She was blaming herself. She was evoking all the time where any diet didn't work, okay? So the result, when we see all those actions, the result that she was creating for her was that she was doing everything to gain weight. So she was proving to herself her thought that I will never lose weight, okay? But the important thing here is that she wasn't feeling powerless because the number on the scale went up, okay? She wasn't overeating, ruminating, second guessing, blaming herself because of this number, okay? She was feeling powerless and she was overeating, ruminating, second guessing, evoking the worst case scenario because she was thinking, I will never lose weight. Okay, this was the reason why she was feeling powerless and she was doing all those things. Okay, circumstances are always optional. Number on the scale is always, optional, neutral. So a number on the scale doesn't mean anything. But when we have a thought about that number, then it's when we are giving some power to that number. Okay, so let's put another example. If you are dieting and the number on the scale show a number, let's say, for example, 200 pounds. Okay, if you are coming from 250 pounds, you're going to say, hey, I got this, I can do this. Conversely, if you are coming from 180 pounds and you find out one day that you are at 200 pounds, you're going to say something like this client told that day, I will never lose weight. Okay, so it's not really about the number, it's about what we tell ourselves. Okay, all the problems, the cause of our problems is always at the thought level. Okay, so why weight loss coaching is the answer? It's because you have tried anything else and all the diets maybe they change a little bit which foods you don't have to eat, or better try this or try that, or reduce your calories per day, and so on. So more or less they are all similar. Okay, so you are going to get the same. So you maybe may lose weight, but the thing is that if you are not managing your mind, you are going to gain it back again. Okay. And this is because your thoughts are always the problem. If you are not working at the thought level, at what the level of the things that you are telling yourself, okay, the things that you tell yourself, for example, when things go wrong, or when you see the number on the scale goes up, okay, what are you telling yourself? Or when you look at the mirror and you see what you see, what are you telling yourself? Because probably what you tell to yourself, it's not about the image that you see in the mirror, is what you tell to yourself, what it's making you overeat. Okay. And even if you are doing self-coaching, everyone has blind spots. It is happening to me. So I am every week getting coached on things that I had already been coached myself. I do some self-coaching, and I am really amazed to see how others can see the things that I cannot see. Okay. And this is something that it's universal. Okay, and that lasting changes requires us to invest time and energy into our mental health. Okay, and why I am your weight loss coach? It's because most of the coaches are going to work. So here I have this tree, which says the things that everybody can see, which would be the results. The symptoms are that you are overweight. Okay, and the problem is that you are overweight because you are overeating. So most of the coaches, or if you are doing some diets, they are going to work at this level. They are going to say you, hey, you don't have to overeat, eat less, and eventually move more, for example, and you are going to lose weight. But the thing is that if we are not working at the root cause of the problem, which is, for example, being over hunger or having this over desire or emotional eating, if we are not working there, we may lose some weight, but this weight is going to come back because we haven't addressed the root cause of the problem. Okay, so the reason, this is what I am using. It's what is called, this is not well written, so it's casual coaching. Okay, why are you overeating? Let's work on this. I am going to tell you, most of the times, there are, I would say 80% of the cases, my clients have the three of this. Okay, so we have to work at different levels: hormonal level, desire level, and also emotional level. Okay, and one thing that it's very important, it's how to keep going when you don't want to. Okay, so when you just want to keep, or when you are feeling deprived, with this kind of coaching, because we are working at the thought level and emotional level, you are not going to feel the typical deprivation that we feel when we are going through this other diets. Okay, and the most interesting of all this is that this tool and this kind of coaching applies to any areas of your life. Okay, so here is one of the testimonials that I have. Tiffany.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and Laura has been my health coach for the last 10 weeks. I came to her, I was tired, I was lethargic, and I had cravings all the time. And I had some really bad habits that I had my whole entire life, like including stress eating and binge eating, probably eating way too much in one setting just because it tastes good. So she was really instrumental in helping me transform. I've lost weight, I feel fit, I feel healthier, but more importantly, she helped me completely change my mindset. So if you're looking for somebody that is going to help you get the results you want, but not only that, but to make them stick, she's going to be the one that's going to be helping you do that. And her personality is just, she's such a joy to work with, and very knowledgeable. I can't recommend her enough. So good luck on your journey. Hi.
So, do you have any questions? You can tell me now. You can unmute your microphone and ask me whatever you want. I don't know if all was enough clear. If you want to talk about any specific issue that you had or something related with what I have been talking today, you can ask me. And if not, I am just going to offer you something as a gift for your time to being here.
Sorry, I don't know if because I haven't this. So do you have any question? I'm so sorry. I think that you weren't listening to me. I don't know if you have any question about what we have been discussing or anything related to that. So I have here 2 questions. Okay. My make is not working. How long does it take to the big overeater to get breakthrough? What do you mean exactly, Emme, when you say breakthrough? I tend to get a snack at night, crackers, and I am as a habit. Okay. What are the thoughts on low calorie snacks between meals? Does interfere with the fat burning cycle? Yes, totally. So every time you eat, you are going to interfere. So you are going to release a little bit more of insulin. And when you have insulin in the bloodstream, even if it's low calorie, it's not about the calorie here. It's about the sugar. Okay. That's the reason why it's especially with sugar, processed food, and flour, because all these are rich on sugar. So sugar is the thing that it's going to make you release more insulin. So even if it's low calorie, you are going to stimulate the insulin. The only thing that it's not going to stimulate your insulin, it's going to be oils, for example, fat, oil, pure oil is not going to stimulate, but all the rest, even protein, if you are eating, for example, a lot of clients came to me, yes, I have doing the diet, low carb diet and high on protein, but if you are consuming too much protein, you are also going to stimulate too much the insulin, which is not the thing that we want really. Okay. So everything I eat is sugar. Yeah. So you have really something to work on here. I ate 4 crackers at night during the fat burning cycle while I am sleeping. I'm not sure I understand this. I eat 4 crackers at night during the fat burning cycle while I am sleeping. So while you are sleeping, you are not normally eating. It's not about too much or too many. This process is about really tapping into your body, and your body knows if it's too much or it's okay. So every time you are eating without being hungry, real hunger, this is too much. This is overeat. Okay. So I would say that the first, I would say something, your mantra should be, I only eat when I am hungry until I am satisfied, full enough, not going to feel that we just cannot eat anything else, which is normally the case. We have been conditioned like this. Okay. So if it's too much, is if you are really eating without being real hunger. I have reduced my calorie intake during the day, but I am also reducing my exercise to compensate it. Could also be a reason why my body is craving at night recently. You know, Emme, the thing is that it's not about reducing calories. It's much more about, it's not about the quantity, I would say. It's much more about what you are eating. because as I told here, when you eat sugar, flour, and processed food, which the three of those are basically sugar expressed in different manners. When you are eating sugar, you are going to stimulate insulin and you are going to feel hunger, and you are going also to release much more dopamine, which will make you feel this over desire for food. So reducing those is going to make you lose weight and feel less hunger and less desire for food. Okay. My program is 12 weeks. Okay. I had tested priorly a program 6 weeks. It has worked well. So my feedback, the results for my clients were perfectly well. So they were losing weight, and that has been changes on mindset, and all the relationship with food has totally transformed. But the thing is that I want to make a little bit longer, because I want to really, how can I say, establish that as a continuous, so really a lasting change, lifestyle changing. It takes longer than 6 weeks, definitely. Okay. And I am doing one-on-one coaching. Yes, because I want to do it really personalized, all which is related with hormones. Hormonal balance can differ from one person to another, because if, for example, that person has also certain medical conditions, such as related with this insulin resistance, such as the diabetes or another kind of medical conditions, the approach has to be different. And also because at the end of the program, once the clients start to lose weight, I am also not designing, but I am making a questionnaire formula to see exactly what are the needs, specific needs for each person, and assess them with the right food, the food that are going to be better for her performance and to feel really more energized. Okay. So I don't know if you have any other question. So if you don't have any other question, I am just going to tell you that as a gift for you to your time here, I am offering a free consultation, a 30 minutes free consultation to discuss about your specific issue, to work on this and to design a little blueprint strategy to start. So I think that with all the information that I have provided today, you can really start to do a lot of things, a lot of changes. But here is much more personalized, and I'm going to coach you as well.